Coming up on Mountain News this morning, lawmakers were hard at work yesterday overriding vetoes ahead of today's end to the legislative session. And some Kentucky business owners are worried about how new tariffs could drive prices up for automakers.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning. I'm Amelia Lee here with you on this Friday, March 28th, and the time is now 5:29 this morning, which means it's time to check on in with meteorologist Megan Dusmal. And Megan, it is Friday. It's like the Rebecca Black song.
Oh, I love that song. Yes, it is Friday, and I'm looking forward to this day. We're going to have warmer temperatures. We're not going to see many clouds in this, many rain chances today. We do have quite a bit of clouds. Let's take a look at that satellite radar where you can see the rain moving into the area. Just a little sprinkle here or there. It'll clear up as you're going through the midday hours. We have another slight chance of rain as you're heading into the evening today. Here's a look at the current temperatures, mainly sitting in the 50s, but we see 61 as you're traveling towards Somerset. So you might not need a winter coat this morning with those warm temperatures. And as you head into the afternoon, you definitely will not need a coat or a jacket because we're looking at the upper 70s and low 80s. So definitely going to be a warm afternoon today. Here's how the next 12 hours will play out. We see those temperatures warming up, and by the time we head to about 4 o'clock, that's when we'll see the high temperatures of the day alongside some mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies. Amelia.
Thank you, Megan. While this year's state legislative session will end today, the Republican supermajority was hard at work reversing vetoes made by Governor Andy Beshear. Both the House and Senate overrode the governor's veto of House Bill 4, the bill to ban diversity, equity, and inclusion on Kentucky public university and college campuses. They also overrode the veto of House Bill 695, which adds a mandatory work reporting requirement for able-bodied adults without dependence on Medicaid.
We need to give this a try. I think it can be very insightful. I think when more people get to the table to take a look at this, we can truly improve the health of our population and save considerable money for people to, again, expand access to care.
Both the House and Senate also overrode the veto of House Bill 684. Secretary of State Michael Adams says the bill expands who can vote in person before official early voting starts. Governor Andy Beshear says it will make voting more difficult by no longer allowing a voter to use their debit or credit card as a form of identification. Many other bills were signed into law, including Senate Bill 202. It would ban the sale of any hemp-derived beverage in Kentucky until the summer of 2026. Republican State Senator Julie Rockey Adams is the lead sponsor of the bill. She originally says that a moratorium would give the state more time to study these drinks and put more regulations in place if needed. The Kentucky Senate is remembering a lawmaker who died after a lawnmower incident last year. Senator Johnny Turner represented several eastern Kentucky counties. He died in October after he was injured working outside his home. Yesterday, the Senate passed a memorial resolution and said that part of a highway, Route 221, would be named in his honor. Meanwhile, part of Kentucky Highway 30 in Laurel County is being designated as the Albert Robinson Memorial Highway. The former state senator and representative also died last year.
Why it's so special, that's where Johnny grew up, that's where Johnny went to school, and I can't think of anything more fitting that Johnny would like than to be the road named after him.
Senator Maiden says Turner stayed grounded to the values that shaped him, his faith, family, and a deep commitment to eastern Kentucky. In Laurel County, the intersection with Ulrich Lane to mile marker 9.5 of Kentucky Highway 30 is being designated as Albert Robinson Memorial Highway. The former state senator and representative also died last year. And there were other notable figures from our area who had roads designated in their honor. From mile marker 20.9 to 23.7 along US 119 in Pike County will be known as Coach Philip Haywood Highway. The legendary Belfry football coach died earlier this year after a car crash. And Kentucky 908 from mile marker 0.7 to 0.9 in Martin County will be known as the Priest Brothers World War II Memorial Highway. It honors 3 brothers who served in World War II who were from Martin County. The National Congress hosted a hearing yesterday morning to examine the mid-air collision between a Black Hawk helicopter and an American Airlines plane. The crash happened near Washington, D.C. and killed 67 people. Senator Ted Cruz was in that hearing. He acknowledged family members who were impacted by the tragedy and added that the situation was preventable.
It didn't have to happen. And I want you to know that I am committed to using the power of this committee to determine if any policy failures led to this crash and making certain that Congress acts to correct them.
NTSB Chairwoman Jennifer Homendy said that the FAA needs to do more to analyze safety. The collision was the deadliest plane crash in the country since 2001. Dozens of organizations throughout Kentucky are getting funding to help in drug prevention, treatment, and recovery efforts. Goodwill Industries of Kentucky is one of 77 grant recipients selected by the Opioid Abatement Commission to split approximately $20 million. Goodwill hopes to help people get back on their feet once they complete treatment for drug addiction or released from prison.
This money passing through the commission is blood money. This is blood money. This is money clawed back from those that brought this crisis and brought this devastation to our Commonwealth.
So far, the Opioid Abatement Commission awarded more than $85 million. The fund is about to get a big boost after Coleman announced a settlement with Kroger for $100 million. Car dealers and their customers are already bracing for the impacts of those tariffs here in the Bluegrass. President of Toyota South Richmond, Steve Gates, says his decades of experience led him to believe manufacturers will absorb the price increases from tariffs. This will protect customers' wallets, at least in the beginning.
They can't do it indefinitely because it's frighteningly expensive, but I think they'll try to convince the administration that maybe this is not in everyone's best interest.
Gates says he encourages politicians to visit with their local car dealership for a better understanding of how operations work. Many people are getting ready for the big game, including UK students and alumni. Jill Smith, who's the director of the UK Alumni Association, has been cheering on the Cats for more than 20 years. She says through the different coaches the program has experienced, it's gone through its highs and lows. But with Mark Pope leading the way, Smith believes the fan base has been re-energized.
It's been neat to have an alum at the helm, and I think that's something unique for Coach Pope and for our fan base. He certainly wore the jersey. He was a student here, graduated from here, so he understands what it means to be a Kentucky Wildcat.
Smith says she believes basketball can foster excitement, and it's evident as the Wildcats' journey through March Madness revamped the alumni and herself. Next year in 2026, Lake Cumberland is set to host the 17th annual High School Fishing World Finals and National Championship on Lake Cumberland. The event will bring in students from 48 states and 2 countries to compete for the top spot. Young anglers will also have the chance to win over $3 million in scholarships. According to the release, the economic impact on Russell County and surrounding communities is expected to be multi-million. Coming up, Social Security checks are beginning to withhold money from seniors who were paid accidental overpayments.
And I'll have another update on this weekend's storm chance coming up.